let's take a look at our general CAD practice for Revit. We're going to make topo drawings in this, and we're going to make it from a points file. So let's see what we do. First, let's go ahead and I've opened my Activity 7 Revit file. It opens up on the site plan. The site plan is 1 inch equals 50 feet. So we're okay. That's a good place to start. And I'm going to save this now because I'm going to do this a whole bunch of times from this file. So now I'll go to the file, save as, and this is, I'm going to use the data, so I save it as a project, and I'm going to save it as my 2.7.1. And I've already done it. Notice you get all these backup files as you go and save things. You can erase those later on. They just kind of get in the way. They have a use, but it's okay. So I'm going to save this as 2.7.1 topo file. Okay, and I'll do this for each of the ones. I'll open the main Revit file that I start with, and then I'll save it as whichever one I'm going to do. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to massing and sites. There it is right there, massing and sites. And we're going to create a topo surface. And we're going to do it from an import. And we have these things called points files. It's like the survey record that you made. It's got X, Y, and Z numbers in it. And so I can import those. There it is right there. And it's in a format called CSV, comma separated variable. And yes, I'm 1 inch equals a foot. That's correct. And there it is. And there's some rows could not be used. That's okay. That's my row at the top that says what the columns are. Wow, look at that. That is so cool. And then I'm going to select the X mark. Ah, awesome. So the next thing to do is put a property line around it. And this is something that Revit doesn't do great. I'm going to sketch, and I have to find those endpoints. Click. Click. If I had the actual data, the actual bearings and all that kind of stuff, I could do it a little bit easier. And I'll click OK. And it looks okay, but I think next I want to lighten these up a little bit. So I'll override those graphics, and I'll change my color. I'll really lighten up the color a lot. Shouldn't be nearly that light. And I think that'll be, if I need to, I can also work on my transparency a little bit to make it a little bit more transparent. Oh, I did the wrong thing there. Let's try that again. I should have done that to the projection lines, not the surface patterns. Projection lines. There we go. Make them nice and light. That's a little too nice and light. I can barely see them at all. Get a little bit more in there. I want them light, but not super, super, super light. There we go. Let's try that. And you'll get the feel for it. Keep clicking the wrong one. Let's try maybe that. There we go. That looks pretty good. That's sort of how a topo drawing looks. They're usually light and in the background. And then these maybe darken up a little bit too. Override graphics, projection lines, make them black. And then I usually add a weight of 8 or 9 or 10. There. Now I can really see. That's maybe a little too much. You'll get the idea. Try that again. lighten them up just a little bit. I don't really have a standard for this. Just wanted to, I really want to see these lines and not so much these. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some labels on those. Now it's starting to look right. And let's see what it looks like when I go to annotate, tag by category. Oh, look at that. Just put those right on there for me. And I just hit escape, and now I'm holding the control key down to select all those. I'll take the leader lines away and move them a little closer. Now, many places would change this to be a due north and this to be a due south with text. We'll work on those later. So there we go. I've got my topo drawing done, and of course I can save this file. So that's that's what you're going to do for all of those. And when you put it in your logbook, then let me know. Do you think this is difficult or easy compared to drawing all these points and figuring out where the topo lines are and everything in AutoCAD? Okay, so there we go. Let's see how you do with that.